Do sports have the same effect for kids with developmental challenges as for their peers? There's a few different studies in this area, but all summed up in this big meta-analysis in 2003 by researchers in Victoria University from the land down under. These guys worked to straighten out the scientific evidence in this area by summarizing the data found by the most relevant studies. This is actually pretty important since if sports do have a big positive impact on kids with developmental challenges, it makes sense to invest more resources in lowering the barriers that often keep these kids out of participating altogether, like a lack of tailored facilities or programs for them. So this research is actually pretty significant. The included studies all use different ways of testing and measured kids with different types of challenges, but a lot of them turned up pretty similar results. Of the 32 research studies looked at, 15 of them were experimental and used small sample sizes of just a few kids to check the effect of aerobic activity on behavior. The duration of activity for each was different, from isolated sessions of just a few minutes to a full 12-week program, but all of them turned up pretty positive results. Generally, kids were more on task in the classroom and performed fewer self-soothing behaviors like rocking or making repetitive sounds after the exercise. Two other similar studies, both utilizing multi-week programs, one dance and the other judo, also reported increases in social skills and a decrease in antisocial behaviors like biting or hitting, though it was noted that these changes did not stick after the end of the exercise programs. Another different study testing the effects of an integrated soccer program with developmentally challenged kids playing with normally developing kids also had these same social benefits, but also tacked on broadly increased social competence and improvements in problem behaviors. Out of these though, one study that really stuck out to me looked at the effect of years involved in Special Olympics training programs on adolescents with Down syndrome. There was a positive relationship between involvement in Special Olympics programs and a lot of cognitive and social benefits like better learning and concentration and stronger friendships. And honestly, I just find that to be pretty interesting since those benefits seem like they'd be totally unrelated to each other or to sports in general. That's kind of what makes research cool. Sometimes it just turns up the unexpected. So just to summarize everything, involvement in sports of all kinds or even just exercise in general carries a number of benefits for kids with developmental challenges, from increased social skills and quality of social interactions to decreases in disruptive or problematic behaviors in school and at home. So yeah, involvement in sports seems to be pretty beneficial for all types of kids. And while there can always be more research about things, hopefully the research we have now will let you answer the question of,